Hey guys, Tarek here, bringing you a 1v1 today. We are on Mill Road. Playing today, spawning in the south. We have SirFailalot playing as Soviets. Straight away going for guard motor. Teaming up with him is GRAF Zeppelin, playing as Ostheer, who has German mechanized, Jaeger armor, and Jaeger infantry. In terms of, this is a Patreon backer game. These two are friends. They don't actually have any 1v1 rankings shown, but as an arranged team of two, they are rank 3000. So a tier 1 start here for SirFailalot. Generally not that popular against Ostheer. Conscripts, generally enough. And, you kind of invest quite a lot to get these penals in terms of manpower, but conscripts do the job well enough. You can oorah to get around the side of machine guns, and it just works out better generally. Oftentimes if you go for penals as well, they go for double machine guns, and that really locks you up. But if you're comfortable, I suppose, going for a sniper war that can help against the double machine guns. In this case, SirFailalot, no recon plane to help in the sniper wars, or no radio intercept either, so if you want to be doing a tier 1 strat with a sniper, probably better to have one of those as your commander option. Here we go, a couple of skirmishes across the map. Graf running in here, but getting blasted by the penals behind heavy cover. Both players kind of camping out at the moment, trying to stay in their cover positions. So the machine gun inching forwards a touch. Pioneers do have a very good line of sight, so they probably can see this squad over here. Maybe you've got the machine gun in a slightly more relevant position here. You see you're up against penals as well. It's a little bit easier to keep track of where everything is. So at this stage, maybe you'll be up against 3. So you kind of keep tabs on them easier than perhaps, more squads at this timing from a conscript start, since you don't have to build that tier 1 tech structure. And the units are cheaper. But good work here, pushing up with the MG42, forcing some retreats. Penals maybe could have just bull rushed their way through the center here, 2-on-1 against the Grenadiers, and then gone for the cutoff. The machine guns in the south. I think you would be able to get at least the decap going before the machine gun comes down and shuts you off. But yeah, SirFailalot is going to go for a sniper. As I was saying, no commander options really to help him. I suppose guards are okay to help defend this sniper. But yeah, no recon plane. Huge damage from the penals. The MG doesn't manage to suppress them either. So there they go. Graf though hitting a reasonable timing on his tech. Also went for a relatively early bunker. Pretty much like a cookie cutter build from Graf so far. Still hasn't locked into his options yet, so maybe could be considering Jaeger infantry, a good option against the snipers with the ambush camo. If the sniper's in range of you like this, you ideally want to shoot at that, try and force it away. Doesn't manage to do so though, and retreating with the machine gun, understandable. Tick coming up now for Graf. Sniper getting in a bit too close, but good reaction times from SirFailalot.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Sniper running fast, past after that snipe. Grenadiers round the corner. Uh-oh. Oh.
More of our troops have been lost.
Oh boy. Right, as I was saying, he had good reaction times dodging away. Then maybe he's controlling something else, but maybe he can get some revenge. Definitely want to go for the run and gun here. Try and maximize the chance of wipe. Okay, gets it anyway. That was close to max range, so that was a close call. Definitely want to be chasing that down if possible. Chasing it down. And, you know, in the process, you also run to the point where you can cut the enemy's resources off, so it's kind of a benefit for you in two different ways. But yeah, Graf could, you know, lock into this Jaeger infantry at this stage. Bring in the Jaeger command squad would be a pretty strong option. Satchel out, but pretty easy to dodge. And got the 222 rolling through now.
Scout car awaiting orders.
Touch late on this 222. You wanted about 30 seconds earlier than this. If you're going for a 3 grenadier start, this is closer to the timing where you get it if you went for like 4 grenadiers. Darius is about to pop on this penal squad, but they retreat before they can get any damage done. And now SirFailalot hitting a T70. This is a very fast T70. SirFailalot pretty strong on his timing so far. If there's one thing where he's maybe lacked so far, mine planting. I don't know if we've seen any going down so far. It's one of the real benefits of these double combat engineer builds. You can just spam mines.
Ready for action.
222 a little bit inactive. Maybe he's a bit tentative without the pack in support. It's about to pop out now. It does have the pack build time bulletin. And wow, locking into Jaeger army. This is very uncommon for a 1v1.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
T70 rolling through here. Grenadiers slow to react. Gonna try run. T70 slow to chase though. And the Grenadiers are going to get away, it looks like. Another Grenadier into the retreat path, threatening the snare. No. T70 doesn't chase any further either. Big missed opportunity. They probably should have been a squad wipe. Nice bit of work there from the flamer inside the building. PTRS is in the center at the moment, not able to assist. Big damage on the combat engineers. Pack in the north at the moment. T70 rotating down to the south, so it's not going to be in a good position to fight back. Got some LMGs coming in now. Guys going down with the sweeper, checking what's going on. But hanging around a bit too long against this T70. 222 is there to run some defense, but well, once again, SirFailalot maybe a little bit too passive with the T70. As long as you're quicker on the reactions, you can dodge away before the second pack shot comes in. Relatively safe, especially around a building like this. You know, the pack would have to extend quite far after hitting you to really finish you off. So as long as you don't take a Faust, you can generally just back away quite cleanly. Not too much risk. Second machine gun now for Graf. As I say, it's a pretty good option against these penals, especially now the sniper's dead and got some guards called in for SirFailalot. So the double machine guns should be very strong for him. Good angle here from the T70. MG could go down now on the wrong side of heavy cover. Pack connecting though. Oops. T70 dodges away in time. PTRS trying to come in, but shut down by the double grenadiers.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Wow, those penals took almost no damage on approach there. That was crazy. Usually drop like 2 models doing something like that. Very good RNG in that engagement.
Ready for action.
Telemine coming up over here. This is a strange position for a telemine. But I suppose there are some sweepers on the field, so maybe he doesn't feel confident about them not getting swept. I think I'd still be prioritizing LMG on the last grid here over a telemine in a position like that. Battle phase nearly complete here for GRAF.
Manufacturing capability has been increased. Reinforcements complete.
Oh, we got the tech coming up for SirFailalot also. Yeah, SirFailalot, I'd say lacking in the mines so far. He's got a combat engineer standing right here. Could just be planting like a line of mines along here. It's generally a pretty good option. Grenades on the penals. Looks like they stayed in heavy cover long enough so they didn't take much damage from that, even though they started the retreat. The penal going for the wraparound, but MG is facing this direction. Will it switch targets in time? No. So it does end up getting forced away, but 222 can rotate up there unless you suspect PTRS is going to pop on this penal. 222 is going to do tremendous damage. Oh boy, guards throw out a grenade. And they knock out the grenadiers down there. Another squad down for GRAF.
We have liberated the objective.
T70 coming back to the front lines.
You need fire support?
Okay, popping the spotting scopes on the 222 now. It's one of the real benefits, I say, of this commander in 1v1, having the spotting scopes on 222, but you can see the veterancy on the 222 quite low.
We are losing a sector.
Ordinarily, it would be close to Vet 2 at this stage. But not there yet, so it doesn't have the Vet 2 sight bonus. Which does make the spotting scopes, I mean, they're still very good, but doesn't make the vision of the 222 overpowered. Yep. So far, decent pack positioning though. T70 has been reasonably well contained. A bit of a steering match in the centre. If SirFailalot had gone for heavy mortar instead of these guards, probably could be just blasting away through the centre. Very strong on this map as well. You can kind of camp it around here and do tremendous damage. Looks like he's considering throwing the satchel charge there. Decided better of it. Didn't want to risk losing the penals on retreat. And for a grenade into the retreat path. Interesting idea. Doesn't quite line it up though. But it looked like reasonably well timed. Now T34 coming in for SirFailalot. I think if you're going for guard motor, you're not like in a desperate situation, you should just stall for the T34-85. It's just so strong.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Instead of, having a slight disadvantage against the Panzer IV, you switch to the slight advantage, and it just makes it a lot easier being at the advantage like that. Especially in this situation where you don't have an anti-tank gun to back up your tank yet. Having the bigger and better tank is a massive benefit. T70 needing to back away now, but getting stuck on the bushes. Luckily though, the pack missing. Definitely an opportunity there for that to go down with one more attack round, and if that pack shot had actually connected, but SirFailalot getting out of there. You do always have to consider your reverse path when you're using your vehicle. Like, am I going to back into some bushes like that? It might be worth like pre-angling your light vehicle, so maybe you could just like back through this channel rather than having to turn before you can back around. Those little positioning details maybe you don't notice from some of the top players, but they do make a pretty big difference, which is how you end up mitigating a lot of the pathfinding issues that are very commonly complained about. Just with slightly altered control, you can really reduce the impact that they have. So now we're getting heavy mortar out for SirFailalot, but I think at this stage he could be considering a Katyusha instead. Heavy mortar is probably the safer option, since if he does get rushed by the Panzer IV, it's not going to get killed like the Katyusha could. Heavy mortar is still a very strong option, of course. Okay, down here. Has repaired that up. Yeah, I think one thing that's pretty big, one thing that can really help you with your control is putting your engineers just into one control group. So that every time you need to repair, you can just hit like that control group and then right click your vehicle. Just lightens the load so much, I find. Okay, here we go. Big push coming in for SirFailalot. Guards on top of the pack. If they threw a grenade here, this would be easy, but instead they're just trying to shoot it down. Here comes the grenade now. Pack gets decrewed, but the T-34 took too much damage. Panzer IV arriving to save the day. Panzer IV backing away at this stage from the guards. Doesn't have the machine gun upgrade on it quite yet, so biding his time until that pops maybe before getting more aggressive. Got the PTRS penals there. Big hit from the heavy mortar. Now GRAF going for a mortar in return. For GRAF though, you have to consider you maybe are going to lose your pack. And maybe this needs to be a rebuild on the pack. He's going to pick it up now, but they do end up retreating, which I think is a slight mistake. Oof, powers go down for GRAF. I think he should have tried to hold out with the PTRSs until at least the pack got around this corner. And it was relatively safe from there, but I think I would have stuck around. You know, the PTRS penals were reasonably healthy still. Make sure you actually get away with that anti-tank gun. So now GRAF, after losing Grenadier and Pio, a little bit behind on the infantry, but good kill on the T-34. SirFailalot though, quick to rebuild another one, and now he's got an anti-tank gun. Ooh! Joining in. Oh my god, he's going to take some satchel damage. You can see the Grenadiers were kind of getting caught on the light cover there as they're trying to run out. Delayed their movement. A good flank here with the Flamer. MG42 down in the south. SirFailalot. Oh, loses the penals. That was a huge hit from the Panzer IV. They really clumped up coming around the building and they go down. That was a nasty wipe. MG42 going to get away. Okay, so big losses, but you can see from the army side, SirFailalot still well ahead. Just got to make sure he doesn't lose his vehicles, and he's in a very comfortable position after that. Need to get a little bit closer with the T-34, so the machine guns are firing as well. A huge proportion of the T-34's anti-infantry is on the hull gun. The gun there, so if that's not firing, you're missing out on a lot. Uh-oh, that's what I was talking about. All he needs is to not lose his tanks, and then he's away laughing. But lucky break for this T-70. Took an AoE hit on one of those shots, and it wasn't quite enough to get the kill. That was a very lucky break for SirFailalot. I thought that was going to go down there. I guess it caught it on far enough away on the AoE such that it didn't get the 80 damage required to kill.
Germany now holds the victory point.
Get up a telemine on that? Interesting. He just spotted that with the penals. Don't know if he noticed it though.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
I'm sticking around, but there's not much they can do against all these PTRS penals. Not without a flamethrower, at least. Heavy mortar going to work on the Ostheer mortar. Looks like Graf going to try save for something heavier. He hasn't gone for a second Panzer IV. He's had the resources for quite some time. If he tries to go for the elephant, that would be quite the spectacle. Having the marked vehicle does make it quite a lot easier to deal with the elephant though. Oh boy, here come the penals. Panzer IV dodging away. T-34 getting in there, but hits that telemine. PTRS squad not able to get in there to finish the job. Pack in the north though, so not really much of a chance of finishing off the T-34. Big hit as well. He can't even close in for like a whole bunch of Fausts. I think it would be 3 Fausts to finish him. So would need probably a second Grenadier to attempt that anyway. Big flank here on the stolen MG. Maybe could have launched a rifle grenade. Got the wipe there. Or he only just got the munitions for it actually. Okay, maybe not. Close call though. If he did have the munis clumped up on heavy cover on the wrong side like that, could easily have been a wipe. Second party coming in for Graf now. And there we go. Sweeper's going to spot that telemine up there. Take care of it.
The enemy is taking our territory.
See, SirFailalot quite far behind on VPs in spite of, I feel, being quite far ahead in terms of army for the majority of the game. Really needs to convert that into a bit more VP control. Should be relatively easy to do while you still have the T-70. The pack coming up here as well to support the T-70. That's a good move for SirFailalot. Doesn't want to get caught by the Panzer IV. Not enough to defend. Kenals get very low here as well. Second T-34, this time the T-34-85 for SirFailalot. Pack coming in for the T-70. Does force away the machine gun at least, but the guards did also retreat. Good hit there from the heavy mortar. He could even bring in the pack to cap up here. He's recruited with penal models, so they will actually do some pretty good damage. A little bit risky, but you know, it did have that fresh T-34-85 here. Could come up and support the pack before it got into too much trouble. So I think it would have been a decent option. Something you might forget sometimes though, like what you have crewed that team weapon with. And generally, like team weapon crews, you know, when you do crew it with a decent squad like penals, they don't really like benefit much from the team weapons veterancy most of the time, so they don't scale well. But up against an unvetted pack, I've done just fine with 4 penal models firing. Uh-oh, Panzer IV in some trouble. He's popping the blitz, trying to get away. Does have his pack up here, but no Grenadiers in support. The T-34 having a bit of trouble with the pathfinding. It's going to continue through. Not on prioritized vehicles though. Uh-oh, and he's starting to back away. That's the worst possible thing he could do. He just followed through there. That was an easy kill. Instead sat in front of the pack for too long. And that was a... yeah, you gotta have some confidence. You know, you got a good amount of support here. Just drive to the other side of the pack.
Ready to be deployed.
It would work out just fine.
Our opponents are seizing a
Command
sector.
engineers down the south, meanwhile. Was that to the... Must have been to the Grenadiers. BTRs is chasing in, trying to do some damage, but taking a lot of damage themselves. And now a Panther for Graf. Interesting. So far, though, from this commander, has only used spotting scopes on the 222. Hasn't even upgraded the support package yet for the Pios. So far this commander hasn't really assisted too much.
The enemy is taking our territory.
There we go, Panzer IV back up to full strength. It's Vet 2 now, so it's got the skirts far more formidable against the T-34-85. SirFailalot doesn't quite have enough room in his army if he wants to go for an Su-85. So could have a bit of trouble dealing with this Panther, honestly. Panther isn't very good against PTRS units, though. He's just checking if Graf's awake. He does have plenty of munitions, so it doesn't really hurt him in that department. But it does hurt him a lot, losing a lot of manpower crossing the water there. To throw that. Double tanks down the south now. Big damage on the Grenadiers. No anti-tank down here at all, no pack. Neither of the vehicles, so not much Graf can do, but is doing a good job of holding on to the VPs, forcing the infantry to retreat. And here come the tanks now, as SirFailalot overstayed his welcome. He's backing away now, but there's no anti-tank from him coming in as well. The pack, T-34-85 in the north. Come the PTRSs though, but he's about to run back into that machine gun. Ooh, and the Panzer IV with a nasty hit. Pios dropped one of their PTRSs there as well. Can repurchase those, but it's a bit annoying. In these cases, sometimes as well, it's worth just popping. If you've got this much munitions, just popping that vehicle as soon as you see the tank. And then they're probably going to disengage. Can buy you a bit more territory control. The pack is a bit split off at the moment, though. The pack ideally needs to be wherever the Panther is. And just sitting up there is a little bit risky as well. Could just get completely overwhelmed by a Panzer IV. We just find it up there.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Manages to bait them into the EMG, but okay, it does end up suppressing in the end, and heavy mortar forcing the retreat after that. A T-34 down here, a little bit isolated. T-34-85 through the center at the moment. Oh boy, luckily though, the Panther not on prioritized vehicles, shooting at the infantry. And again, another missed opportunity for a vehicle kill, this time from Graf though. If the Panther was on prioritized vehicles, it was an easy chase down for the kill. So far, I don't think we've seen any mines from SirFailalot. You know, maybe you'd have a bit of a pause if you've swept and ran over a bunch of mines at this point, in terms of like chasing down over here, but in this case, with I think 0 mines planted, you can have confidence to try go for the kill in that kind of scenario with your Panther. Just constant decapping on one VP on both sides. creeping in now though. Same with the T-34. Up in the marked vehicle. This T-34 extremely low now. He's continuing forwards with it though. This is not how you want to be doing it though. The pack a little bit too far back to continue in the fighting. You don't want to be fighting that kind of head-to-head. You don't have the pack support. Pack comes forwards now, but it's already too late. T-34 is dead. Does free up some room in the army though for the Su-85. That will make it a lot easier to deal with the Panther. Is over the tree line, doing some big damage to the heavy mortar, not quite decrewing it though. Su-85 creeping forwards. Takes a shot though from the Panther. Uh-oh. Oh, there is one mine there. And there we go, connecting. Forcing retreat. Heavy mortar needs to get out of there as well. No Faust though. The Faust, the Panther could easily just charge ahead and come and kill this off. Heavy mortar, ooh, does manage to get away. I was about to get decrewed, but that was a close call. SirFailalot falling behind on the VPs now as well. Do remember for the recon mode on the T-70 can be very helpful for your Su-85 spotting, so you don't have to leave it in focus sight mode, keep it a bit more mobile. But yeah, at this stage SirFailalot needs to be planting mines everywhere. He needs to have just a wall of mines absolutely everywhere on the map. It's the easiest way to deal with the Panther, and got a second Panther coming in now for GRAF. He doesn't quite have the room in his army to push it out though. Just 18 I believe. So he'll have to lose something before he can field that Panther. There's that satchel, but again, pretty easy to dodge with that long timer. Guards grenades though are harder to dodge. Doesn't throw one of those though. Time retreat on those penals. A lot of armor camped out in the bottom, and there we go. Does pop the T-70 recon mode. That's a very good idea. Maybe we'll see the pack back there. Maybe mortar could open up on it, but still back at base reinforcing. And there we go. Second Panther on the field now. Could make it a little bit difficult for SirFailalot. Pretty much only has room in his army, maybe for like another T-34 once he's reinforced his units. Could go for a side tech as well, go for tier 2. And then build a Zis. That's another decent option. Yeah, the spotting scope's working well for GRAF. Seeing what's happening from long range. Forcing back the T-70 for some more repairs. At the moment, though, SirFailalot in control of the victory points. We can see some units posturing in the north. GRAF will be just inching forwards with these spotting scopes. Not overplaying his hand. Opening up the anti-tank gun with the mortar first. I suppose we could also maybe see another squad of guards brought in. Okay, T-70 heading up to the north. Going to see the Panther back there, backing away fast. Your machine gun doing a good job of locking down that northern VP. Ooh, nasty hit. Look like they're going to get away though. S-35 heading up in this direction now as well. S-35 still on focus sight mode though, moving very slowly. Meanwhile, we've got a big push in the south for SirFailalot. Gets around the side of the machine gun. We're seeing a bunch of retreats. The pack coming up here, but Panzer IV evading it so far. Got the Panthers coming back in. The S-35 back there. Is this finally going to be the end of the Panzer IV? No. Bounce from the T-34. And it blitzes away to safety in the nick of time. Decrewed here, the PTRS is continuing their charge ahead. And he goes for the steal on the second pack. This one getting decrewed by the LMG Grenadiers. And again, a full retreat. These squads are still healthy enough to cap up territory as long as you're not going to get wiped by something, which is very unlikely to happen from the Panthers. Panzer IV is one shot, so you don't have to worry about that coming back in. Yeah, can't afford to stick around. Double Panthers coming down for the decrew on the stolen pack. SirFailalot's a little bit slow to react. Definitely should kill this decrew weapon now. Goes. Yeah, the SU-85 rotation's very, very slow with that focus sight mode on constantly. It's really hurting SirFailalot with the repositions. Oof, mid-rifle nade animation but gets suppressed, which shortens up the range. T-34 in a nice position to shut that down. Remember, recon mode can also cap territory. Oof, no reaction from GRAF, and he ends up losing that Grenadier to the MG. But still GRAF in the lead when it comes to the victory points. A lot of repairs required on these. Does this give you a extra repair speed? It does. So if you've got a bit of spare munis, probably worth popping that upgrade as well. Okay, gets the recrew on the pack in the north. Good idea for SirFailalot. That does put him above pop cap limit though. Won't be able to reinforce anything, since he did field a second T-34-85. So any losses he takes now are very painful. Definitely needs to prioritize the VPs a bit more as well. Not sure what the guards are really hoping to achieve by running forwards like this when they could be just capping. Exchanging grenades in close quarters. Oh, a second mortar for GRAF. Interesting. I don't think I'll be going for that. But we'll see how they get on. A lot of resources in reserve for GRAF as well. He's playing quite efficiently in terms of manpower. Both players content to just kind of sit back, not really press the issue too much. So, a lot of casualties, and there could be. Rebuild on the Grenadier. Not quite going to be able to field that though with that second mortar being brought in. Could leave GRAF a little bit low on units to cap with. Cap with the machine gun. The double Panthers mobilizing. I wonder if SirFailalot hears us through the fog of war. Got the recon plane up as well now. Mortar getting to work on the Ostheer mortar. T-34-85 facing the wrong direction here. Uh-oh. Oh boy, and he's a little bit slow to react to this. The double Panthers getting it going. Connecting with every shot. And not just driving straight away. Leaves the T-34-85 there and it goes down. Oh, good execution on that move for Graf. Pretty slow reactions for SirFailalot though with that T-34. And once it did react, he only moved it like maybe 15 range away from where it was initially. Back all the way to base. Drive forwards all the way to base. Starts on the rebuild of that T-34. Here come the double Panthers. Finding T-34 again. But yeah, as I was saying, this is where the mines really need to be kicking in for SirFailalot. Especially when you got this much munitions in reserve. You just start spamming the crew repairs. You might as well. That'll free up your combat engineers to plant the mines. Otherwise these Panthers are going to be very tricky to deal with. There's quite a few like sight blockers and shot blockers, which makes it easier to use the Panther on this map around the center. Whereas the SU-85 can sometimes be a bit awkward if you don't line them up correctly. Nice attack round there. T-70 in some trouble. Repaired up enough that it won't die though. So it does get away alive in the end. But yeah, the long line of sight for Graf working out very well for him with those spotting scopes. Another big PTRS move coming in the south, but this time Graf kind of covering a slightly different angle with the machine gun. Looks like one squad of guards is going to get around the corner. Heavy mortar blasting that Ostheer mortar pretty good. Panthers coming around to the north, maybe looking to clear off that machine gun that was up there. Oh, when they get close enough for a grenade on the machine gun, they might be able to get the D crew going. Oh boy, flanking around the pack. SU-85 missing some crucial shots. Panthers causing some trouble up here. Gonna aim for the kill on the T-70, but not enough damage. Oh, crucial miss. Well, this time it does end up getting finished off. Mark vehicle active now on the Panthers. Already retreated. The machine gun does get outright destroyed down there. But the tank fight's not going well for SirFailalot. Allow himself to get Fausted here. Another engine crit. Ordinarily this would be a big issue if you're up against the Panthers, but since the Panthers are a bit low, you probably would expect not to get pushed during this timing, so it shouldn't matter too much, but something you got to practice, just always avoiding those snares. Again, this is where the vehicle crew repairs could be quite nice. Just back away to maybe over here, then pop them. You don't want to do them too close to the front lines, especially with the spotting scopes. You might get detected mid-repair, and that would be disastrous. Seems like maybe SirFailalot has forgotten about that function.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Oh, no retreat from Graf on that Grenadier, trying to soft retreat. I thought maybe he's trying to bait him into the machine gun, but that has died, so... Flank from the PTRSs again. As before, though, getting some big hits. Doesn't quite have enough room in the army to field that extra Grenadier yet. But the double Panthers really establishing their control, making it very hard for SirFailalot. Not really ramping up the VP pressure behind this though. Graf has really struggled to deal with this machine gun. It's just been camped up here, locking out this VP for maybe like a quarter of an hour now. It will be very easy, especially if you know the Soviet tanks are down the south. Maybe fighting your Panthers, just send the 222 up here, Just drive it up, flank it. Clear that off very, very quickly. Plane up again for GRAF. Awful feeling to be up against a recon plane in a situation like this. You're locked up on PopCap, you can't afford a quad to shoot it down. Don't have any pintles as Soviets to shoot down either. So kind of just powerless against it. Especially now without the T-70 providing recon as well. I feel like you're at such a big disadvantage when it comes to the intel. Up here, 222 will be spotting that though. Still not V2 on that 222 by the way. Doesn't have that V2 sight bonus yet.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
T-34 come around the corner here. Panthers nearby though. Double Panthers in fact. We have the PTRSs though that can threaten sticky satchel, so he's not diving in after him. Pino's capping in the center currently though. Not a lot of bleed coming in from these Panthers however.
Reconnaissance Stuka, fueled and ready to fly. Panzer IV standing by.
3 on the Panzer IV now.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Pino's making a bit of a move in the north. The 222 did back off slightly. Pack also repositioned to the center. Seeing a sweeper forwards first, which is a good idea. Maybe he's planning some kind of big flank. Oh, he's trying to plant a mine all the way forwards like that. Ooh, yeah, I mean, that's just a little bit too ambitious with that. Now the pack getting laser beamed down by these grenadiers. T-34 heading up to the north though. Oh, the SU-85 connecting on all shots, and the pack as well. There goes one tank, but here come the double Panthers in the south. T-34-85 could be in some trouble. Yeah, there we go. They don't miss any shots. Good work there from GRAF. And there's a close call whether you chase or whether you'll be able to get that final volley of shots off on the Panthers. He stayed in place and it was the right call. Don't want to suffer that moving accuracy penalty. So, I don't know, I mean, it's pretty even trade overall. That was a Vet 3 Panzer 4. Probably about as valuable as, I think it was a Vet 1 T-34-85. Pino's down the north though. SirFailalot going to switch over to conscripts, which I think is a good choice. There's enough resources to make that change. And at this stage, you know, you want to be building sandbags. Maybe throwing some anti-tank grenades. Oh. This time. Was that maybe like the 5th attempt? The Penals finally get the kill with their satchel charge. Well done. Persistence wears down resistance. Oh boy, SirFailalot though not paying attention in the south. And the Panthers just, with no response at all. That T-34 didn't budge the entire time. Oh boy.
Reconnaissance flight ready at your disposal.
Got to sharpen up the reaction times to taking damage on your vehicles. That was way too slow.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Double SU-85s now though for SirFailalot. They can give these Panthers a hard time. Oof. There we go, double Panthers wrapping around. Maybe looking for a flank on the SU-85. S-35 reacting relatively quickly. He's on focus side mode though, pretty slow pulling away. Had this chasing in, but here we go. Got a second Su-85 joining in as well as the pack. Had this sitting around here for a little bit too long. There's a lot of anti-tank there facing down. Popping blitz, but didn't back away far enough, and he loses one of the Panthers. I'm guessing the Panthers were on the same control group or something like that. And he didn't manage to split the control on them very well there. Ends up losing one. Uh-oh, could take a sticky satchel here. Oh, big hit from the Panzer IV. Could go down now. No machine gun upgrade on the Panzer IV yet though, so missing a bit of DPS. Instant rebuild on the Panther for Graf as well. He had so many resources in reserve. Building another machine gun also.
MG42 team is ready for action.
Oh, now we'll lock him out. He won't quite be able to field this Panther, right? In this case though, rebuilding the Panther I don't think is necessary. Probably a better option would be to go for like double anti-tank guns. Yeah, just trying to flank around here, but right as they're about to launch the rifle grenade again, they get suppressed. This machine gun powerhouse up there. Imagine if you just sent the 222 up there instead. Would have cleared that off a long time ago. Sight mode here working nicely. Su-35 very close to Vet 3. Not quite there. Ostheer mortars are doing pretty well in the center. Soviet heavy mortars a little bit further back. Hasn't been just constantly blasting them off the field. S-35 now pushing in as well. This one back up to full strength also. Quite aggressive. Oh boy. PTRS is forced back the 2-2 in the north. That's a lot of repairs for Graf at the moment. Who is still struggling a little bit on the munitions department between the rifle nades, blitzers, recon planes. Still has very good munitions expenditure, but it does also mean struggling for repairs and upgrades to make the pies more efficient at repairs. But I think if Graf did go for the extra upgrade, I think 2 pies should be enough. Don't think the third is necessary here. But we're not going to go for a pack. That's good. It's much more PopCaf efficient. Good to counter the Su-85s.
Anti-tank gun has arrived.
Squeeze a greedier on top of that as well. Start chopping up these penal squads. Use the satchel on the mortar, so doesn't have it available for the machine gun, and now maybe could go down on retreat. MG ends up retreating. He's going to go for a rifle nade into retreat. Ooh, that was a very good attempt. That was very close. Slightly too much to the north, but Graf has a couple tricks up his sleeve. MG locking down the south. Just going to jump on top of the mortar down here. Looks like Graf maybe going to make a bit of a push in the north. Finally forced that away. He's got the pack up there as well.
We are losing a sector.
Conscript's going for a deep flank on the machine gun, and it works out quite nicely for him. This point at least. Doesn't have a Molotov to really knock it out quickly, and here come the 2 tanks. So might be able to stay in position. Ooh, a bit of friendly fire was that. Didn't quite get the kill on the machine gun with the friendly fire, but backfiring a little bit. Double tanks in the south, but the SU-85 is pointing towards the center at the moment. Could get flanked. Now repositioning though. GG2 has a Vet 2 finally, so spine scopes on it will be very strong now. So Graf try to field both another Grenadier and a pack, but doesn't have the room in his army for both. Needs to make a decision about which one he wants.
We have a fresh Grenadier squad.
Okay, here we go. Tanks making a bit of a push, but without enough pack support. Missing their shots now and getting blasted on approach. Have to try and blitz out. But there we go. Every shot connecting for SirFailalot, and the Panther ends up going down. The pack's too far back to support this. We have a PTRS back there, just plinking away. But yeah, you never really want to be driving head on into double SU-85s like that from max range. It's just a recipe for disaster. And yeah, did go disastrously for Graf. Now he's kind of tied up his army as well. I suppose he could build another Panzer IV, which might be a better option than a Panther at this stage. He's come down to the pack positioning though for Graf. Has been decent so far. But it's going to have to be very, very sharp going forwards with all those Panther losses. Keep running forward just for the engine crit. And the 222. There's double Ostheer mortars though that has been camped up over here, and they have done very well for Graf with all the fighting that's gone on through the center. And I feel like the Soviet mortar has been a little bit more reserved than often is. So when it comes to the VP attrition, those double Ostheer mortars have been doing some massive damage. So Graf decides to go for a second Panzer IV. Okay, the path is clear down the south. Do you have a penal squad coming across for it? Do also have a machine gun coming down in this exact moment though. Maybe the penals could get arranged for a satchel charge. Here they come. Oh, and they do get it off. Machine gun was banking on the fact that they wouldn't. And that costs them their lives. Okay, squad now going for the capture. No machine gun upgrade on these Panzer IVs. Okay, one of them is getting it currently, but does need that to help against the PTRS squads. He's just managed to get the neutralizer in the center, but they're on death's door, and down they go to the mortars. Another satchel coming out in the south. Graf. Ooh. It was going to backfire on him there. The other Grenadier kind of blocked the retreat of the initial retreating Grenadier. But time fuse barrage coming in now, causing quite a lot of damage. But SirFailalot doing well on the VPs now. He needs to. He's down to 38. Graf still 250 remaining over. Okay. SirFailalot's tanks mobilizing now. He's unable to get the cap off. S-35 should be in range at this stage, taking some pack damage through this channel over here. Missing the follow-up shot though. T-34 85 overextending. Rear armor hit there from this tank. Oops. Graf running pretty hot in terms of penetrations from those Panzer IVs, but SirFailalot overextending. Didn't dodge backwards. Ends up losing that. Time fuse though, knocking out the machine gun over there. Good flank from Graf though, forcing away the machine gun in the south. Some rebuild on the T-34-85. It is going to come in. Doesn't have enough for the double Faust quite. You can see SirFailalot doesn't have much going for him in terms of anti-infantry without the machine gun or a T-34-85 there. PTRS penals not that impactful. Uh-oh. But the pack sits around for a long time, gets decrewed by them. All Panzer IVs down here, but they're both quite low. We've got that fresh T-34-85 arriving. This could be trouble with that pack having been decrewed recently. The other pack needs to be coming down here and support, expecting something to be happening. Oh, what happened there? The Telemine. The T-34 would have run over. Getting detonated by just a stray shot, and that's very good fortune for SirFailalot. Pack decrewed again. This pack not reacting. So that works out very well for SirFailalot. Now there's a big differential in the army sizes, and Graf doesn't have enough to rebuild. Coming around the corner, targeting the S-35. Recrew on this pack as well. Engine crit on the other tank. Oh, this could be the end of the Vet 3 S-35. Pack just needs to land one more shot. He's still on focus sight mode, so he's just crawling back. And there goes the S-35. T-34-85 could be next. Pack is taking no prisoners. So yeah, SirFailalot failing to disengage the focus sight mode, so stacked on top of the engine crit. That Su-85 was backing away so slowly. Couldn't get out of there in time. Oh boy, where's this Grenadier going? Could be a squad wipe. Good rifle nade though. Oh, squad wipe nonetheless.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
The hit there from the Panzer IVs is extremely risky using the Panzer IV in this situation though. Second Su-85 could easily have just killed him there. But Graf still has a lot of victory points to work with. SirFailalot does not.
The enemy is attempting to steal our
Definitely
sector.
a massive shame that the 222 has not come up here to just force this away at any stage of this match. And here we go. Now a bunch of mines coming down for SirFailalot. He used the vehicle crew repairs as well. He'd be away laughing. Machine guns are all dead for Graf at the moment, so easy caps. Going to be a triple cap shortly. Mortar wars. Good job. Combat engineers coming back in to jam the capture, but they're getting beamed by this squad, so they can't stand there for too much longer. It's going to get neutralized. This one though, capped by SirFailalot. Oh, and he's remembered. He's remembered the vehicle crew repairs finally. Okay, now he's cooking with gas. Is this going to be the turning point now? Got a couple mines down. Got the crew repairs going. Frees up a bit more room in his army, maybe to close the show here. 2-2, I think, spotting for this, which is why the Ostheer mortar is doing so well at the moment. Spotting scopes, making it much, much, much more valuable. Points are draining fast though for Graf. He's going to make a play down the south. Got a T-34 down here coming in from the far side.
We have a new Panzer IV.
Double packs down here as well as the Panzer IV though. Could be an idea to maybe smoke this off with the Ostheer mortar while he's capping. Terrorists is pushing in, but we've got a couple of LMG Grenadiers there to defend. So they're going for the satchel on the mortar though. And there we go, going to be able to clear that off. On the run now though. Big damage on the Panzer IV down here. The pack laying into it. Oh, he's trying to back away. S-285 luckily misses. But the pack does not. And down goes the Panzer IV. T-245 pokes his head forwards, but gets blasted by the double packs. Quick to back away. Trying to complete the capture there. And blasted by the machine gun. Good suppression over here as well. T-3485 going to reposition. So they're closing in for a rifle nade, but the heavy mortar pretty well spread out. MG does end up retreating though, was under some more mortar fire from the mortar that's remaining. Right onto this one. Pretty decent dodge. Guards might still have enough to win this though. T-45 out for repairs, however. Oh, it looks like the guards are going to lose. Fake out on the rifle nade as well from Graf. And that allows him to complete the capture as well as cap down the bottom. So points draining from SirFailalot once again. He's got a lot of troops back at base reinforcing and desperately needs to get on these VPs.
Panzer IV ready. The Maschinengewehr team is awaiting enemy forces.
MG42, good idea for these VP wars for Graf. They probably could do with another tank. Maybe he just doesn't fancy his tank control at this stage. 29 points. The clock has stopped. No, he loses a Grenadier in the middle. Uh-oh. Good angle here for the double packs. They find the S-285. Again on focus sight mode, and again that's the end of the S-285. I can maybe understand it a bit more in that situation. Just trying to creep forwards, look for the Panzer over here. But once again, it does cost him. Do still need a little bit of follow-up after the PTRS, after the satchel rather. Oh boy, but they kill the second pack now. That means the path is clear for this T-3485 to just run rampant. Just Uraying in. Oh, they've got anti-tank grenades as well. I didn't realize he teched it. Maybe the PTRS Penals can finish off the Panzer IV. T-34 in the meantime, not up to much. Rebuild on the Panzer IV for Graf. But the PTRSs are sticking around for the kill on these two anti-tank guns. Here comes the T-34 now. He's going to go for the cap with the Penals. Good idea. This squad going for the cap, but the T-34 right there shouldn't be able to complete that. Oh, here we go. Big old flank. What happened to this machine gun? Maybe SirFailalot Was forced away, or maybe brought it in to assist in the fighting. Either way, not camping that northern VP, and we do have the Grenadiers coming in for the big boy flank. Graf getting very low on the VPs. He's got the rebuild on the Panzer IV, but he's going to struggle now without the pack support. Here we go. Grenadiers jumping on the VP. Slow the drain. Only one Grenadier remaining though for Graf. We lost that one earlier in the center.
We have only 50 points remaining.
He's low on infantry. MG wide arc covering that VP area. Now it's just charging ahead for a grenade, I'm guessing. No, they're pumping a button. Pack pushing forwards for some damage, but the guards look likely to go down. It's the marked vehicle quite late on that. Do get away for the moment. Rifle nade out. Big. Oh, okay. Decent damage. The squad ends up getting forced away. Oh, we've got a second T-34 coming through. Looks like they hit a telemine though. Slowing them down a lot. But it looks like SirFailalot going to try and close the show here.
Enemy is taking our territory. We have casualties. We are down to 25 points. Do not let them defeat us.
45 has a pretty big edge in this head-to-head. The other Panzer IV out back. He needs some support to have hopes of winning it. "13 points left for Graf, but it's looking grim. He just doesn't have anything that's even near the victory points at this stage.
We have 10 points remaining.
So I don't think he can do it. And there we go. SirFailalot takes it. Well, it was a back and forth game. Some vehicle losses on either side's kind of swung the momentum towards both players at various stages. Overall, I think SirFailalot, had a much better early game. Should have been able to convert that to more territory control overall, but was about 200 points behind in the early game. Maybe needs to focus a little bit more on the VP control. But yeah, eventually those double Su-85s just tearing Graf's double Panthers to shreds. And from there, Graf had a lot of trouble rebuilding, regathering his momentum. The double anti-tank guns were a pretty good idea. Did some work, but ultimately just getting overwhelmed in the late game. I think SirFailalot probably could have closed the show a bit earlier if he remembered the vehicle crew repairs and spammed a few mines, but there you go. But yeah, Graf, did make pretty good use of the spotting scopes, but maybe could have also gone for those support package. Basically the same thing. That's called breakthrough packages. And to speed up repairs would have been quite nice. But yeah, pretty good use of the recon planes combined with the Panthers. The Panther control was pretty decent in terms of like staying still for max accuracy shots. And we're lining up pretty well. But yeah, SirFailalot able to gut it out in the late game. Well played. Well, anyway guys, wrap on that. If you like your game to be cast by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.